Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians are bragging that they are destroying all their bridges. They are hitting and destroying almost all the bridges and they're celebrating. And they're celebrating because they think that once that's done, they will hit all the bridges that, I don't know, their ancestors or maybe they built them. The Russian army will not be able to bring any reinforcements over them to attack them. So that means they will stop in their mind the Russian offensive. On the other hand, that would impede the Ukrainian offensive as well, since if they have to go and chase the Russians out of their occupied territories, that would be excellent if they could have been using the same bridges. So it's like shooting yourself in the foot at one point. But this article comes from Ukrinform. It is from today, the 30th of August 2022. Ukrainian forces confirm new strike on 3 bridges in Kherson region. The Ukrainian army forces have killed almost 160 Russian invaders and destroyed 60 pieces of enemy equipment in the south overnight, striking 3 bridges in the Kherson region. Ukraine's Operational Command South said this in a Facebook post. Ukrinform reports. According to the report, the situation in the operational zone in the southern Bug direction remains difficult, but is controlled by the Ukrainian Defense Forces. Positional battles are underway in order to improve the positions on the front line. And I'm quoting, "Last night our bomber aircraft struck 2 enemy positions outside Kiselivka and Kostirka. Rocket and artillery units carried out more than 220 fire missions, including on 3 bridges: the Antonivka Road Bridge, Antonivka Rail Bridge, and Darivka Bridge, to secure their unusable status." So they secured it that nobody's going to use them again, the report said. So I thought that this was a counteroffensive. So how are you going to conduct your counteroffensive if you destroy the bridges, which are the easiest way to conduct a counteroffensive? You know how hard it is to try to cross a river during an assault? Each and every assault on a river, on a big mass of water, I'm not talking about oceans or seas or big lakes, even that. Why do you think Napoleon did not invade Great Britain or England? For the same reason. And he got a little beating, if I remember correctly, in the Mediterranean Sea when he was in Egypt, doing hanky-panky there and beating whomever was around, the Mamelukes or whomever. But here, you got rivers, it's hard, and mountains. But on the other hand, mountains are, are a barrier for crossing, because you can cross only through certain kind of, passes or, passages through the mountains. You can't go wherever of big mountains. You can't transport anything. The same thing with this. You have to fight 3 or 4 times harder to cross a body of water, a river in this case. So I don't know how these Ukrainians will be able to conduct their counteroffensive. Are they going to fly over it or what? According to the report, the enemy last night lost 159 soldiers and 60 pieces of equipment, including 5 T-72 tanks, 3 MSTA-B howitzers, and S-300 launcher, an electronic warfare station, and a radar, a 120mm mobile mortar, 5 anti-tank missile systems, 40 armored and motor vehicles. Now that's a big war over there, if that's true. In addition, an enemy UAV was destroyed last night near Pravdinia. One more drone was taken out this morning, which the enemy brought from the Black Sea to the Odessa district. Again, my concern is with how are you going to push the Russians out from your territory? Like this? It seems like the Russians, not it seems, they already crossed parts of the Dnieper River and others in this case, and they crossed on the other side, and these guys are trying to prevent whatever units crossed from being rearmed. That's what they're trying. But remember, those routes are used not only by the military, are used by the Red Cross, are used by people who bring doctors, medication, food, and whatever transit is occurring over there and has been occurring. It's not something that just started 3 days ago. It's something that it's been in place in as long as those areas were functional for some time. So you cut the military off, okay, I understand that one. But you cut your capability of an offensive. That's off. It's going to be much harder for you once you, but I don't think they will ever get to that point where they're going to have an offensive. What we see right now, I think, is just a overemphasis of regular fighting by the mass media and by their commanders, and that's I think that's about it. I think it's just a little, how should I put it, a little bit too late. And if you couldn't do it so far, you do it right now. It's not impossible, but I think it's going to be short-lived. I give it 3 days. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Obviously, these guys are going to probably prolong it, and then eventually they have to say it. It's the same thing as, if you remember, if you're familiar with former President Donald Trump's presidency, in those times, between 16 to 2020, you had a mass media who was barking and who was creating hopes, false hopes, that you could see it from miles away. That's not going to end anywhere. But they created so much false enthusiasm that the tards with IQ below 86, they were intellectually, if you want to call it intellectually, masturbating each and every day. Every day you could meet one and say, oh my God, now Trump is going to get it. And I was like how? And they, too many questions here, too many questions. You'll see. So the same, they created a euphoric atmosphere among the little fish, among the bottom feeder of the society, who were just grabbing everything the mass media were giving to them because that was their opium. Like, you know, our friend, I was about to say Mad Max. Oh my God, Karl Marx said, you know, the religion is the opium of the people. The same here, the mass media is the opium of the people. Certain kind of people who need that kick. Oh my God, we're gonna get him, yeah, now he's done, now he's toast, he's gonna get out with shackles on from the White House, they're gonna arrest him, they're gonna blah, blah. It was so impossible that you could not even argue with these specimens. You were like, how could you even drive a car? How can you make a decision when you drive a car? How can you coordinate yourself, like looking out and turning the steering wheel or pushing on an accelerator? There were too many tasks at once for you. How can you function? How can you go to the bathroom and use the bathroom properly? You know, sit down, you know, flush, then, you know, wipe, and then flush and wipe and whatever, and then get, you know, pull your pants up and blah, 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 wash. How can you follow those things properly? And you don't start with washing your hands, and then the next one you flush the toilet, and then you poop, and then you pull your pants up, and then you wipe. How didn't you mess this order when you can't even follow what's going on around? You don't know the capabilities of the society, what's possible and what's not possible. It was unbelievable. I was many times like, and these guys are functioning in the same society as I am, and they have jobs. Some of them managerial jobs. You know what I mean? They lead people. They are the leaders of the people. And I was like, this guy, I was looking, did you tie your shoe this morning, or you were not able to figure it out? Really, that's the way I was like, and thinking, these guys are driving cars, and I'm on the road with these guys. Anyway, I had some very, like, and believe me, I'm not young, and I'm not, you know, I wasn't born yesterday, and I'm not a person who didn't go around the block like 50,000 times, you know, and read and be involved in certain things. And this surprised me to like another drop of the society in my brain. I was like, I know the society is low. I must no doubt about it. No, I mean, it's not only me observing it, but there are other guys who also observed it, in our long history. But I couldn't believe it went even lower than this as ability to think, not to commit crime. To commit crime, I think I know where the society is, how low can be, how criminal people can be. But this, my God, you have... So anyway, I think this is what's going to be right now in Ukraine. Is going to create some masturbation, intellectual masturbation, I don't know, material for some people who say, yeah, man, we're doing now, you're going to get the Ruskies. And nothing going to happen. Probably in 3 days, it's going to be the flame is going to be like, and die. And they will keep it flying for about 2 more weeks. And then one day they will have to say, well, the Russians are in Kiev. How? I don't know, because we were straight in our offensive. Oh, counteroffensive. You'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.